Welcome to Let's Talk Clarity, the podcast where we have open and honest conversations. So I'm delighted to be here at Walfinch Home Care and recording this podcast for the Bromley Buzz and also for the Let's Talk Clarity, so a double whammy once again. So I'm sitting here with Clare and Sonesh, so hello and welcome.
Hello Zeenat, thanks for having us.
It's great to be interviewing both of you and to find out more about Walfinch Home Care, what you guys do, the vision behind it and how it supports the community. But before we dive into any of that, just tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Sure, yeah, after you, Sonesh.
Okay, so I'm Sonesh. I'm the director of Walfinch. We've been running Walfinch. Walfinch started about 2 years ago. I'm local to the community. I've lived in Bromley for over 40 years now. Married, got a little daughter, got a big family, so spend a lot of time with family and spending a lot of time in Bromley. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Brilliant.
Claire. I'm also, I've lived in Bromley now for, coming up to 15 years. So grew up in the West Country, went to uni in London, stayed, met my husband. I've been in the care sector for just coming up to 10 years. And work really closely with Bromley dementia-friendly communities. I'm incredibly passionate about advocating for older people in the community, particularly those living with dementia, hence how I became Dementia Friends Ambassador of the Alzheimer's Society.
Where I came and did my training with you.
Absolutely. I'm not an expert, but it's something that's really close to my heart, and it's something that I can incorporate into my everyday job as well. So, yeah, I feel very lucky to be part of Walfinch and putting my passion into practice.
Brilliant, excellent. So let's kind of dive into a little bit for our listeners. So what inspired the mission behind providing this personalised home care in Bromley? I mean, where did it come from?
So, Walfinch is a home care provider. Obviously, so we serve the local community across Bromley, Dulwich, Sevenoaks and Croydon. And we just feel that there's a strong need for quality home care, which provides consistency for our clients. So too often, if you speak to a lot of our clients, the powerful message that you'll get from them time and time again is that we are a completely different home care provider to what they've seen before. We're reliable, we show up on time, and we really build a deep connection, a meaningful connection with our clients. And that's kind of what embodies our time to thrive concept. So we really embody that, and we want to try and change the narrative from sort of crisis management to kind of more preventative care. So we are continually actively connecting our clients to, it could be physiotherapists, it could be solicitors, it could be other professionals such as Specsavers for eye and audiology care. They also provide home visiting services. So we're always looking at the client as a whole to see kind of how we can improve their journey.
So it's like almost a one-stop shop where it's easy access for them to kind of get the overall care.
So we really get to know the clients, their families, give them the peace of mind to say, look, if you need some other support, we can definitely point you in the right direction. But obviously, in terms of the service we provide, we're quality care, we're consistent. And I think that really comes down to the team that we're building here. So we've got a brilliant team.
Yeah. So what would you say is like your real uniqueness? Shall I say uniqueness? I was going to say selling point, but it's not about selling. It's your unique point that makes you different from any other home care.
I'd say it's people. Like you said, it's a team we've got. I've been lucky enough to have joined Walfinch near the start, and watch the culture that we have here grow and thrive in something that's really special. Like I said, I've worked in the care sector for a long time, and I've never come across an organisation that's quite so collaborative. So I'd say the unique thing we've done is really put a lot of time, resource and care into building community relationships. And through those relationships, that offers us opportunity to support our clients better. It gives us the opportunity to refer to services that they might require. It also gives people the opportunity in the community to get to know us. And when it comes to the point in their lives where they might need a little bit more support at home, or they have a family member, a neighbour or a loved one, they've met us, they've met the team, they trust us, and we're there at the end of the phone whenever they want us. I'd say that's where we're probably standing alone.
I think that's the key word, isn't it? Trust, what you've said. It's
Absolutely.
that building trust.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were going to say?
Yeah, so no, just to add to what Claire says, obviously we spend a lot of time trying to make sure we recruit properly so we can build a really good team. So when we go into a client's home, so there's an initial care assessment. We'll go into the client's home, we'll meet with their families and understand that client. We will then come back to the office and then we'll have a discussion around what 2 or 3 carers can we really support this client. Not just in terms of personality, obviously every client will have its own specific medical conditions, care needs. So we ensure that the care that we're sending out has got the training and the experience to deal with that client, and they should feel comfortable, not just from the client point of view, but also from the carer point of view, that they feel comfortable going into that house and they can deliver the care that's needed. So we can continue supporting our team, and they know that our office and our team, we are here to support them. If they've got any issues, they can always contact us.
Because one of the things that really stands out, and it's about what you're talking about, incapacity, all of that, is on helping people maintain their independence as well, so that they're in their own homes. Yeah. So in terms of that, and you kind of touched a little bit, I want to dive a little bit more into it, is why is it so important for personal emotional well-being and quality of life?
To stay in your own home?
Yeah.
It's very much personal choice, and I would say a majority of people want to live at home independently for as long as possible. Some people don't want that. There are people out there who a care home is perfect for them because they want that busy atmosphere, but also it's just not right for everyone either. Some people end up going into a care home because it's reached a point that they can't be independent at home. So being in your own home, particularly for somebody living with dementia, for example, it gives them the routine. They know where things are. It's familiar surroundings. Kind of the less upheaval and changes in circumstances is going to protect their personal well-being. It also offers companionship as well. So we don't, as a team, we very much encourage our carers and ensure that our carers are put in an element of supporting our clients to the point where they are thriving, not just maintaining their independence, they're actually thriving at home, and they're being able to do more than perhaps they could before. And that might be through lack of confidence. It may be that they have been more disabled than enabled to do things for themselves. So we will encourage our clients to come out for a walk with us. We will encourage them to get up at the counter and make a sandwich with us rather than just doing it for them, but also taking the time to sit and have a cup of tea and a chat.
Yes, that extra mile.
Absolutely. And for some clients, it might be the only human interaction that they're having all day. By all means, not all of them, but for some clients, that 3 or 4 visits a week is the main relationship in their life, and it's really important that we have the right people going in there and supporting them through that.
Yeah. And with you supporting the client's journey and everything, how does that impact the family members and the carers, their sort of emotional and mental? Because it's not just about the client, but it's also it comes as a package, because we often forget about the carers and what they're going through and what they're what's going on emotionally and mentally, and a lot of the
time
traumatic for them too.
Of course it can, particularly if their loved one is going through a major health change or health crisis. What we find is by putting the time and energy into supporting the family as well as the client itself, it gives us an opportunity to build a relationship, and as I mentioned before, they learn to trust us and know us. A lot of carers living at home with a loved one who needs support may have only just reached that stage where they're accepting support into their home because they feel like they can do it themselves, and they're effectively beginning to try and pour from empty cups, which is, as we all know, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're not looking after yourself well, it's really hard to look after someone else. So we give family members the opportunity to take that little bit of respite, even if it is just for an hour a day, to get out of the house, to become a husband or wife again, rather than just a carer, to take that personal care, perhaps that showering need and medication off their hands, and let them step away, meet a friend for a coffee, go and get their hair done, go to the gym, get an exercise group in, something to ground themselves again before they come back in and resume that care role. It makes a huge difference to people's lives, and it's incredibly rewarding to see the changes it makes, not just to our client but also their loved ones.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, no, carer burnout, we've seen this so many times. It is a real thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's interesting, carer burnout, that phrase. Maybe there's something in there that I can look into deeper. I'm just thinking, there we go.
Absolutely.
My head's going on in terms of, how can I relate that to my business, Clare Consulting and all of that, to kind of collaborate in areas like this. Your approach also talks a lot about, the compassionate side, person-centred care, rather than just the one-size-fits-all model. So just kind of give us an example of something that's truly, truly personalised. Like, what would it look like in practice for your team, so anyone listening out there can kind of get a real picture of what a personalised care could be. Just an example.
Sure. Yeah. So we have amazing registered manager, Mandy, who you've met. She will, when she goes out to do an assessment with a client, an assessment takes quite a long time if you're doing it properly. It's incredibly detailed, and it doesn't just cover medication and health needs. We want to know our client's history. We want to know who they are as a person, what they enjoy, what their hobbies are. Are there particular TV programs that they like? Are there particular activities that they enjoy? One example is I actually qualified as a care professional myself last year and took on some clients, which was amazingly rewarding.
I'll just say, your face while we're talking, I can see the passion. It's a shame that our listeners can't see this, but your face just lights up as we're having this conversation. Yeah, I just wanted to
Thank you. I do. I'm very lucky to love my job. I saw a client and it was just a one-off visit, and sadly it was the client was coming to the end of their lives, and it was just I think it was 4 or 5 hours to spend some time with this lovely gentleman. During the care assessment, we had taken the time to ask what his interests were, and there was a particular board game that he really loved, and now we'd never heard of it, had we? So it was a new one. So I took the time to order the board game. Sequence, yeah, it's called Sequence. Okay. Really addictive, super fun. It's a family favourite now. So I ordered the board game and I learnt how to play it, and I spent 4 hours of it was the most rewarding time. I felt absolutely honoured to spend time with this gentleman, and we played this very simple but fun game the whole time. I think he let me win a couple of times. But also, whilst we were playing this game, he obviously became very incredibly relaxed. He was overjoyed that someone was playing this game that nobody ever wants to play with him, and it meant that he really opened up to me, and I learned about his amazing history, and it was we're privileged to be allowed into people's homes, and we're privileged that people feel comfortable and safe enough to open up to us and tell us about their background and their history, because it's fascinating a lot of the time, and you can really learn some interesting stories.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm sure you've got, we had a podcast that could go on for hours.
Yeah.
We could record all the wonderful stories that are there. But no, thank you for sharing that with us. In terms of the mental well-being and loneliness, you've just talked about, the conversations that you have and the companionship and the positive impact that it can have on the clients. With the people coming towards sort of the end of life, how is that looked at with the carers, like the families? How do they approach it, and where's that kind of support that you literally give them?
To the care team?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sonesh, this is probably one for you.
That's a tough question.
I guess, sorry, I said to you.
I guess the carers, I think where we've been successful is trying to match the right carer with the right client. And I think you've got to have someone that's got a strong mental fortitude going into a situation where possibly this client may not survive another 1, 2, 3 weeks. When you are looking after a client, especially when you're in their own homes, in their environment, you are starting to build a relationship with them. So obviously you've got to make sure that your care team, you look after them and you make sure that they've got the mental strength to go through that journey with the client, and preparing them for potentially what could happen afterwards. So we're always ensuring that we support our team. They know they can call upon us at any time. If the phone rings at 9 o'clock, I will answer my phone. I always have my phone with me, so I will answer my phone. But yeah, end of life care is obviously a challenging part of home care. It's not difficult, so we really pride ourselves on making sure we try to match. As I keep saying this, but matching the right client with the right carer for like I said, not just for the carer's benefit, but not for the client's benefit, but for both.
And I think that's how, because home care has changed so much over the years, hasn't
Absolutely,
it?
Yeah.
There's been this drastic shift, like you said. There's more people that wanting to stay in their homes rather than going into a home, or families trying to push them into a home to keep that environment so that they can enjoy whatever the remaining time they have.
And we're all living for longer, right?
And
as well.
Yeah, we absolutely are, which is a good thing, I guess. But so, for anyone who may be considering care for themselves or for a loved one and feels a bit nervous or unsure, what message or reassurance would you like to, leave them? Tell our listeners. What kind of message would you say? So if somebody rang you up or they're wanting to, what's your message to them?
I think speak to as many home care providers as you can. Get a feel for the services that are out there. Make sure you go with a company that you feel comfortable with. You can invite them into your home. They shouldn't be charging for an initial assessment, so you can get them to come to your doorstep to meet you and the family. Ultimately, it's because it's such a personal thing. You're literally dealing with people's lives. You've got to feel comfortable and have that peace of mind when you're inviting someone into your home, that you can build that trust with them relationship, and you can see that warmth relationship grow between carer and client. So it's really about the people. So there's many home care providers out there, obviously different names. I don't think it's the name that matters, it's the people that are sitting behind that name.
To know the team, know the people behind it.
Look at their experience, their qualifications. Are they CQC rated?
Are they
CQC registered and rated? So home care providers, they have a statutory requirement to be regulated, and the body for that is CQC. It's Care Quality Commission. So there are obviously official guidelines that any home care or every home care provider has to follow. But obviously we at Walfinch, we have that as a safety net. That's fine, but our standards are like, right, let's go above and beyond. But yeah, I think the advice I would leave is speak to as many people as possible. Word of mouth is a good thing, because obviously you can speak to people that have been through that journey and give you their experience. This home care company was really good, this one wasn't so good. But I think just doing your research really, and if you're not sure, even if you don't use our services, we are more than happy to guide you along that journey to say, look, maybe speak to, get occupational therapy in, or maybe speak to somebody at Age UK, for instance. We can always guide you in the right direction, even if it's if you're not using our service. We are more than happy to help.
Oh, that's fantastic. Great, thank you for that. So I just wanted to say, by the way, congratulations on being recognised as the finalist at the recent Clare Phillips Care Award.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. I'm sure that's not the only award you've, just tell us a little bit about that. Why do you think, well, you've kind of already said why it is, but just kind of reiterate that, how Walfinch stood out for that award and, within this care sector, because there's lots of care sectors in Bromley and Dulwich and Sevenoaks area.
Absolutely. So the Clare Phillips Award is led by Bromley Dementia Friendly Communities. I'm on the core committee for the Dementia Friendly Communities group and have been for some time, even before my time with Walfinch. I've kind of dipped in and out over 10 years. Bromley Dementia Friendly Communities is basically just that. It's a group of like-minded organisations that want to enhance the lives of people living with dementia across the community and educate businesses who are dealing with people living with dementia day by day. As we know now, 1 in 3 people born today are going to be living with dementia. So anybody who is public facing, anyone who works in a shop, anyone pretty much under any circumstances is going to be interacting with someone living with dementia, but usually without knowing it, because somebody living with dementia looks like you and I. So the Clare Phillips Award is an award that's offered by Bromley Dementia Friendly Communities to an organisation that has really gone above and beyond in that role effectively, and it's only open to BDFC partners.
Can you just explain what the Clare Phillips is?
Yeah, so Clare Phillips...
That's amazing. When I came to the awards, on that day, it was just lovely to hear a little bit about the Clare Phillips.
Absolutely. So she was one of the founders of the Alzheimer's Society. So I think there's a bit of a clash in terms of who the original founder was and where they lived, but we do believe that it was Bromley. So there's a really nice link there. And we actually had Clare Phillips' daughter as one of the judges at the awards, which is incredibly special. She made a huge difference to the dementia, community. And without her, we wouldn't have the Alzheimer's Society as we know it today. So we were nominated, which is fantastic, and I believe there was 12 finalists in total and 2 very well-deserving winners. So our nomination was on the basis of the work that we've done around Thrive Club, which is an initiative that we launched back in September, along with in conjunction with HomeLink Physiotherapy. We fund the project 50/50, and it is dementia inclusive and dementia friendly.
So it's completely free.
Completely free.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a club that takes place once a week in Orpington, and it's 45 minutes of physio-led exercise, which is a prescribed service, and then we have an hour of community time. We thought we might get 10-15 people coming along. We're now getting around 40 people a week, sometimes 45. So
incredible. It's growing.
It's amazing. And what's been, I guess, really special is seeing the friendship groups evolve that are there, and the friends we've made and built in the community through it have been amazing. But real social groups now who want to sit together and save their chair for their friend, and they've made it a real part of their weekly activities. And we've heard some really heartwarming stories, not only about how it's changed people's lives in terms of their physical health, but also just reducing that isolation and loneliness and building relationships, which is what we're all about.
Because loneliness and isolation is massive,
huge,
especially within the borough of Bromley, and we know how that can impact people's mental well-being. And in order, when you've got physical symptoms going on and you're not physically strong, the mental is what helps you get through things.
Absolutely.
And having that connection.
Yeah. So there was a lady that actually attended, I think about a month, no, it's probably about more than that, it's probably a couple of months back. She'd literally lost her husband about a week before, and her family saying, look, Mum, you need to go out there still, you've got to make effort. And we feel so privileged that she felt comfortable enough to come to Thrive Club session. Well, obviously we welcomed her, and then she's been coming back on a more regular basis. But that really kind of you feel it at the back of your throat. That's what really gets you, and that's kind of what Thrive Club is all about. Is the community hub, bringing everyone together. So we recognise that activity, social isolation are things that we're trying to really promote. Trying to beat social isolation are things we're trying to promote. And it's a springboard for the wider message that we're trying to promote through Walfinch, that about the wellness.
The Thrive message as well.
The Thrive message, across the community. So hopefully you can come and attend one of these.
Yes,
and
I'm looking forward to that. I think I popped it into my calendar for next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So when you come, you'll see more than just exercise. You'll see people having a laugh, smell of coffee. You'll see social connections being built.
It's I hope to bring my mother along as well.
Oh, fantastic!
Which would be lovely.
Yeah, there might be a bit of cake gobbling in the kitchen as well while we're chopping it up.
But with obviously with the Thrive Club, you're providing all this. What other sort of activities do you provide your clients with and have? Because it's not just the Thrive Club, is it? No. You do a lot of other things around, and the collaboration that you do as well.
So we give families of all of our clients the opportunity to attend a Dementia Friends session with myself. I'm a trained volunteer by the Alzheimer's Society, so I'm very much supported by Walfinch in that, and able to run sessions in-house, which is fantastic. That's really an added benefit that any family members can come to. We open that up to the community as well as businesses and associates. We also really encourage our carers to spend time in the community. So we encourage our care team to come to Thrive Club and to get involved in the community, but also we facilitate them volunteering at other local groups as well. I volunteer myself once a month at Orpington Friendship Cafe, which was originally a dementia-friendly cafe. It's now dementia inclusive. We support Rainbow Group, which is a dementia day centre, and we have a wonderful community engagement chap called Keith who goes along to the PCN Cafe every 2 weeks at Orpington Village Hall and volunteers his time there.
We've also got, so funny enough, Angie's my wife, she's also a part of the business. So she's over at Madlani Cancer Support, which runs once a week. So she's there at the moment supporting with that. She volunteers her time there as well.
Yeah, so we'll always support our carers as well. If there's something they want to do in terms of the community to get involved in, then we'll try to encourage them to do that and make it happen.
Oh, brilliant. I just had a question in my head and it's just gone, it's gone now. I'm sure it will come back. Some of the other sort of local initiatives that you kind of get involved with, how meaningful is that? Because it's also about raising your awareness for people to know who you are, and also supporting other organisations. Just kind of
it's a great opportunity to get Walfinch out there, but as Sonesh mentioned before, if somebody's looking for care, they're not buying into a brand name, they're buying into the individual and the people that they've met, I would hope. So it is a great opportunity for people to get to know us on a personal level and get to like us and trust us and see the passion that we have for our jobs. I believe all of our team are as passionate as we are about what we're doing, and that's something I'm incredibly proud that we've built. So, but also giving something back to the community as well is really important to us. We are part of Bromley. We want to support our community. We want to see Bromley thrive, and we want to make a difference to as many lives as we can. And that's not just our clients; it's older people in the community who may be living with dementia, who may just need a little bit of extra support or somebody to have a cup of tea with. And if that means Thrive Club, or they know they're going to see Keith at the Wellness Cafe, or they know they're going to see somebody at another group, and that person's going to take the time to actually listen to them about their week, then we know we're doing something right.
100%.
Yeah.
I've just remembered my question as well. So building on that, I'm a bit like that. My brain bounces all over the place. you mentioned about locations being dementia friendly, right? I didn't really understand it till I did my training with you. Just really quick, briefly, what is a dementia friendly place?
Sure.
And what can people kind of do, just the one or two little things? Because it's amazing. We don't think about those things until you highlighted it.
Yeah.
And the trainer was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's just so simple.
It can be really simple changes. One of the key messages that the Alzheimer's Society like us to share is that a little bit of understanding goes a really long way. So as little as educating yourself or people you know about dementia, and whether that's letting them know that the Dementia Friends sessions are available and accessible and free, and passing them my details or one of the other core committee BDFC team's details to get a session in place. But it can be as simple as slowing down your speech when talking to somebody who's living with dementia, turning the volume down on the car radio if you're in the car with somebody living with dementia, reducing distractions so they can hear themselves think effectively. It may be, in fact, on the Bromley Dementia Friendly Communities website, there's an amazing article about the work that Angela has done around toilet signage. So if you're in a public place using public toilets, I think we've all probably done it in nightclubs and stuff when we're younger, when you go into a toilet and then you look around and you try and open the cupboard door to get back out or something like that. So having signage on the inside of public toilets saying where the exit is and things like that can really make a difference. Changing the floor mat cover from black to a coloured one. So
that was interesting.
Really interesting, and a great analogy, not something that everybody living with dementia will experience, but potentially a black mat on the floor in the doorway to a shop may look like a hole to somebody living with dementia. And if the simple thing we can do is change that to a different coloured mat so it doesn't look like a hole, that's a really simple change. I would say, I think what we would love to see is every shop on every high street in Bromley to have a Dementia Friends session. And everyone
that's a mission.
That's the mission, right? I think that's the dream.
You're on that journey. It will happen. It will happen.
Absolutely, and I know it's something that the BDFC are very passionate about happening, and hopefully we will get there. It's about keeping the conversation going and trying to remove some of the fear and stigma that's attached to having the conversations about dementia.
Hello.
All right.
You've just walked into our recording.
Sorry.
You can join us, not at all.
I need to use the toilet.
Right, so, do you know what? You're talking about that, and I think just simple things on the floor, even for normal people who don't have, what's normal, but I mean, people who don't have dementia, it's an important thing, because you can just suddenly see something and trip over or get. It reminds me, have you ever been on TikTok? And it sounds really silly, but
too much time on TikTok.
I occasionally dip in and out, but they have those videos of animals, and I know it's not the same thing, but they put the mats down and the animals kind of weave away from it because they think it's a hole or there's something there. Have you seen those mats?
So that's a perfect analogy, actually.
Yeah.
That's probably what people with dementia feel. They go, whoa.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's a lot of the messaging around that is to really kind of, when you're out in public and somebody behaves in a way that may not be what you consider the norm, we all make assumptions about people. It's part of human nature, and we also get irritated and have bad days. But it's taking that moment to just stop, take a deep breath and think, okay, I'm going to be a little bit more patient than I want to be, or I feel like I'm naturally going to be. I'm not going to push past this person who's walking slowly or has just stopped in front of me. I'm going to give them the space they need and go around them and not let that get to me or huff and puff and make them feel worse when they're evidently not having the best day ever anyway.
It's taking a beat a little bit, isn't it?
It's taking a beat, and we all need to do that regardless of any situation.
Exactly.
It can help us all.
Absolutely. The other thing I wanted to ask was, in terms, I should have actually asked this question before, but I wanted to understand more sort of the value of the home care, so Walfinch and home care, because often there's a misconception. What do you think the biggest misconception is about home care? Because this is then, again, it's about what we were talking about, is how people can feel comfortable doing their research and coming, because obviously there's stigmas from the past, misconceptions about. What would you say one of the biggest things would be?
The misconception, I would say, is...
Or challenge.
So the biggest misconception, I think, is home care is only for personal care, support and mobility around those. Home care can be so much more, right? You don't have to necessarily even be living with a medical condition. It just may be that you may be a little bit more frail, you might need a bit more support at home. It could be domestic support. It could be like, you need support going to the shops once a week. So we can support you with providing you with a carer who drives and takes you to the shops to help with the shopping, bring it home, organise it back into your cupboard.
It can purely be companionship. Someone to have a cup of tea with 3 or 4 times a week. It can be that simple.
Which is tackling the loneliness and isolation part.
Yeah, and then obviously it then extends all the way out to the other end of, like we talked about before, end of life care. So it's a complete journey. But like I said, the biggest misconception is it's not just about when there's a big crisis and you need personal care and you need support at home. When the family's really distressed, we don't have to jump in at that point. We could also be in a much earlier stage and hopefully prevent some of these other issues happening down the line. So we really want to sort of spread that message and let people know that home care is available there at the earlier part of the journey and hopefully makes the later steps a lot easier as well.
Yeah, important. Right, so we're coming to the end. Are there any other sort of messages that you would like to tell our listeners?
I think if you're looking for home care, I think absolutely do your research, give us a call. We're more than happy to have a chat with you. I think Thrive Club is really resonating with the community at the moment. Please come and check us out. We're in Orpington Village Hall, smack bang in the middle of Orpington. But yeah, I think it's just having a conversation. It's lovely to have this conversation with you and really kind of be able to spread the message wider. So thank you for giving us that opportunity.
No, absolutely, and I think that's important. It's about that word of mouth that you were talking about. Talk about what's going on, have the conversations, share what you've heard, because you never know who might need some support or just some information, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So just to round up, details where people can go and find this information?
Yep, so you can Google Walfinch Home Care Bromley. Our phone number is 020 337 6866. Correct me if I'm wrong, I always get that wrong.
Put on the spot there.
We're based over in Keston, so if you wanted to pop over and kind of meet the team, more than happy to do that, or come to you, meet you in your own home, meet the family. More than happy to arrange that as well.
We're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram. Lots of ways to
follow us, and you can kind of get to know what we actually do behind the scenes, what's going on in the office, sort of meet people kind of within the team as well. I think it will just give you a really good feel about kind of who we are, what we do, and the values that we have and what we stand for. Yeah,
absolutely. Once again, congratulations on your award. Again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Being the finalist, that's fantastic, and thank you for taking the time to record this with us.
Thank you.
And share what you do. It's amazing, and I look forward to the growth and the path that you're doing. So thank you.
Thank
Amazing.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Clarity, the podcast where we have open and honest conversations around mental health and well-being. With your host, Zeenat.